Chad's with deep, going deep. Chad and JT.
What's up, Stokers? This is Chad coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I fucked that up. Chad and JT
Let's just
podcast.
keep going.
What is it? Episode 28?
Yeah.
Episode 28.
But the 29th one we've recorded, because we recorded another one last week and the audio didn't work.
Yeah. So this is episode 28, and I'm here with my dog. You heard him talking, and I'm just going to let him introduce himself. What's your name?
JT.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
What's up?
Hanging. I've had a good day.
Yeah?
I've been consuming good YouTube clips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What do you consume?
All right.
Hit me with the clips.
This guy, like stories of old, does kind of mythopoetic breakdowns of movies I like. Like he did one on The Gray and how that's really based on Viktor Frankl's concept of heroically suffering. Because all these wolves are trying to kill Liam Neeson and his buddies. And Liam Neeson was actually going to kill himself at the beginning, but now he's fighting to survive. So it really becomes about how the meaning in his life is born out of courage against even impossible odds. And then he did one on Spider-Man 3 and Grandiosity, because that's the one where the Tobey Maguire series where Peter Parker kind of goes off the rails and gets like obsessed with like being Spider-Man and how that affects his...
He becomes cool, Toby. Dude,
yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Not because it's so captivating, but just the corniness.
Yeah.
When Toby's dancing is... but I really respect him going for the full... He really went there.
Yeah, well,
he really took himself to a new place.
That was in him.
Yeah.
And I remember my friend when I was watching that movie with him in the theaters, like the whole theater was like shocked that the movie went into that tone. And my friend just turned to me and he's like, "Are we watching The Mask?" And it did feel like that.
Yeah.
Like that level of like just like over the top energy and kind of zaniness.
Well, my favorite part was his emo haircut.
Yeah.
Do you notice that? He's like, yeah, now I'm Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, that is the look he went for.
Suck it, citizens. If you want me to save the bank robber, catch the bank robber, you're going to have to deal with this emo haircut. I'm going to cry about it afterwards.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I got.
He wanted to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
And then this YouTube guy also did a one about the archetype of the king. Because I guess there's this writer, Robert Moore, who based off Jungian psychology came up with what the 4 masculine archetypes are. And it's to develop from immature to mature masculinity. And this is supposed to be like it was published in 1990, so it's supposed to be like this new kind of, more sensitive masculinity. So the 4 archetypes are the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover. And I was like, yeah, those are the 4.
The king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover.
Yeah, and then the dark shadow side of all 4 of those things are, for the king, it's the tyrant and the weakling. Those are like the 2 opposite polars you can hit. For the warrior, it's the sadist and the masochist. For the magician, it's the detached manipulator and the denying innocent one, which I can identify with both of those big time. And then the lover, the opposite of being the lover, is the addicted lover and the impotent lover.
Who plays the magician? Like, what characters are a magician?
I think magician, and I've done like such a superficial reading of this, and I only got it from the YouTube clip. I think the magician is kind of what we talk about with like charisma. It's like being able to win over a group, or to it's like that Don Draper in Mad Men, like, I got the perfect pitch for this meeting.
Yeah.
It's like
got it.
I'm guessing that's what it is, especially based off what like the lover and the warrior and the king, what roles those kind of fill up. I think the role of the magician is kind of like, it's like charisma or je ne sais quoi, or like just like maybe like salesmanship, stuff like that. That's what falls into that one. And that's why the opposites are the detached manipulator, like putting it, or the denying innocent one, who's like, you should be a magician.
That's a good move.
And then there's the divine child, the hero, the precocious child, and the Oedipal child. Those are like the babies of the 4 archetypes.
Oedipal child?
Mm-hmm.
That wants to bone his mom?
Our moms are hurt and we want to comfort our moms, but we can't because we've seen our dad's big penises and ours are small. So we're like, how can us with our small penises make our moms feel safe, we can't, and that's where like impotent rage and some masculine issues develop.
That seems weird to me because like at no point was I ever like, oh, I can't do anything because my dad's got a huge dong. I never thought about my dad's dong.
I think it's more like it's broader than that.
Then why do you say dong?
Because that's what it is in the Oedipal story.
Oh.
Because in Oedipus, he actually sleeps with his mom. So it's like the intense manifestation of these feelings.
Do you think Freud was ever just like teaching in a class and he's like, it's because you got a tiny dong? Like, damn, dude, Freud's a genius. And he's just like, look at this dick drawing, by the way.
I've heard some
Look at
people
the ball
say
hairs.
they just think Freud had a hot mom, and that's why he did all this.
Yeah, because you have Stacy's mom.
Yeah.
Dude, I boned your mom, Freud. He's like, yes, shut up. That's why I have so much rage. What if that's like all of psychology now? So like Freudian people are like, yeah, it's all about Freud, and like it turns out like no, he just had a hot mom and he was pissed.
I mean, we're all prisoners of our own experience. What do you think about James Gunn losing his job as the Guardians of the Galaxy director?
Over his tweets?
Yeah, his immature tweets from like 10 years ago.
Seems like a lot to lose your job over tweets, you know, as a big job. And they're like, oh, like, dude, you tweeted this? Later. But also I talked to our dog Jay, and he said that the tweet, he dug deeper into it, and some of the tweets were pretty, not just like jokes, but kind of messed up to the point where he was hinting at being a pedophile or something. And I was like, oh, that could make more sense if that's the case. But I didn't see anything like that. So,
like, there's people who have better worldviews than I do. Like, they're more sophisticated or elevated or mature or compassionate in their worldview than I am. But they're worse people than I am. And then there's people that I have like better views than, who like I look down on because I'm like, oh, your view's kind of like retrograde or not as open-minded as it could be, or it's a little self-centered. But then they're actually nicer to like Joe Morisi, for instance. Like he'll say like, and I'm sorry, Joe, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but he'll make more like casual remarks about women than I will. It like kind of turns me off when he does, but he's probably nicer to the women he dates than I am to the women I date. So it's like, what's really important? Is it important like how you represent yourself in your worldview, or is it actually important how you live your life? So to me, if James Gunn's making stupid comments, yeah, it's something he should work on. But if he's living his life respectfully and if he's treating people on set well, then that's what should outweigh the other stuff.
yeah, it's your actions.
Yeah, exactly. Your actions matter more. And
Yeah.
and for some reason, we're treating tweets as like actions.
Yeah, we kind of lost that.
Did you hear about Demi Lovato?
I did. I just read that.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I love her music.
She was sober for a while, right?
6 years.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a terrible bummer.
Is she okay?
Wishing you well, Demi. Yeah, she's like healthy,
Yeah.
but I think
She boosting H?
yeah.
Demi, what you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, Demi.
Yeah.
This addiction rears its ugly head. You think you're fine, and then wow, it comes back with a vengeance.
Good luck to you, Demi. I hope you're all right. Love your music. Tell me you love me. Banger.
I don't know the lyrics, but I have enjoyed the chorus.
It's a fierce song. I'm sure you'll be good. You got this. And I hope you'll channel it into healthy places that we can all appreciate.
Did you hear Peter Schiff on Joe Rogan?
No.
He talked about how there's a crash coming, a big one.
What kind of crash?
The economy, like worse than 2008.
But what's the cause?
Well, he said that. I mean, I'm not a big numbers or cash dude, but he said that so real estate, the housing market, housing bubble caused the one in 2008, and people think that they solved the problem, but they didn't. We're just floating on a bunch of debt, basically, because the Federal Reserve just printed a shitload of money to try and solve it, and they printed a shitload of money to try and solve it. So basically, it's like we're floating on a bunch of like credit card debt. You know, we're floating on a bunch of fake money. So it appears prosperous, but it's all fake. We're in an even bigger bubble than before. And when that pops, he predicts that the dollar will crash.
And then what happens?
Chaos.
Oh, for real? Where?
but then, okay, so he's like, that's why you should invest in gold. You should invest in gold. You can invest in Shift Gold. That's my company. We have low rates. I was like, oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
Why would you put that plug in right there?
I've always thought it was interesting that gold has value because it's arbitrary.
Yeah, it is weird. And he's talking about that gold versus like cryptocurrency, where it's like, how can you put currency on something that doesn't even really exist? You know? So that's why everyone's like, oh, crypto, that's what's up. But they're like, but it's digital. It doesn't really exist. So how can you place a value on it?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I have one friend who works for like a financial advice firm or whatever it is in California. I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I just don't understand it. But he's like, I don't do crypto. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not sustainable. It's not real. But then I have a friend who works in New York City for like JP Morgan or one of these huge financial firms. He's like, I got 85% of my assets in crypto.
Yeah.
But again, I have no frame of reference for any of this. But they both are very persuasive, so I could go either way.
Yeah. I mean, my gut is that crypto is not the way to go. I don't trust these nerds.
But they're all nerds.
I trust metal.
But Peter Schiff's a nerd.
I like this. He's a charming nerd.
Right.
I don't fucking
What?
but he's a nerd.
He is.
I know. I trust metal. Gold.
All right, Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My baby of the week is Judge Judy. She lays down the law, you know. She's been at the court seat, at the courthouse, throwing it down, telling people what's up, giving the honest truth for the past, I don't even know how long, 80 years? I don't even know how old she is, but I love her, and she really brings the heat each time. And like, I just, I don't know what she looked like back in the day, but I'm sure she was, a good looking lady. Not that matters, but I think she's just a real dynamite package. And like some quotes I want to talk about from her laying the hammer down. Some guy, she's like, okay, so who scratched the car? And one guy goes, and she goes, is not an answer. I was like, nice. Good.
Yeah, get to the meat of it.
Yeah. Don't give me, just tell me who scratched the car so we can get along with this lawsuit case. Then she tells a young lady, beauty fades, dumb is forever. Which, it's a harsh truth, You probably want to work on your noggin before your looks. And then she goes, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
I love that one.
Yeah. So it's like, don't lie to me. She's one of the top earners in entertainment. She makes like $50 million a year or something. So just props to her for just, working the system like that. Not only the judicial system, but the financial system. So Judge Judy, I'd love to go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse with you sometime or something, or just, hear about how you learned how to really just deliver the honest truth, because I think I could use a little bit more of that in my life. So
my babe of the week is Brad Pitt.
Oh.
Yeah, it's long overdue. It's long overdue.
B-Rad.
This was inspired because my friend Robbie was texting saying, is Justin Theroux like a top hottie in Hollywood?
Mm-hmm.
The actor Justin Theroux, who also wrote Tropic Thunder, so that's pretty hot.
He wrote it?
Yeah, with Ben Stiller. And he also said, I think I've said this on the podcast before too, Theroux said his abs for Charlie's Angels 2, Full Throttle, he said he got them just from doing the ab roller. Yeah. Okay, Justin.
He said from the ab roller.
Yeah, that's what he said in an interview. They're like, "How'd you get your abs?" Like, "Oh, I just did the ab roller." He's got like a 12-pack. I'm like, "No, dude, that's like a lifestyle."
He should post a video of him doing the ab roller.
Yeah.
You can also have this bod.
I smell bullshit, Justin. I think you were doing a lot of supplementary work on top of the ab roller. I'm not saying the ab roller wasn't involved, but it wasn't just the ab roller. I'm sure there was a lot of dieting there too. But my friend Robbie was like, "So is Justin Theroux like a top hottie?" And I said, he's not. He's at the bottom of the top tier. I said he's basically Stan Wawrinka. I'm saying his name wrong, as a tennis player who's won a couple majors, but basically he wins majors when other players are hurt. So he's not as good as Djokovic or Federer. He's good enough to win, but when the best guys are playing their best, he's never number one. That's Justin Theroux for me for hottie. He can't be the hottest guy in the world, but that's when some guys are like growing weird facial hair or other guys are too young and not masculine enough yet. That's when he's the hottest guy. But Brad Pitt is Roger Federer. Brad Pitt has 22 majors or however many Roger Federer has, I think 19. And he was Ed Norton's idea of what a man is supposed to be. He fantasized basically about being him. And, he's not resting on his hotness. And then, Rusty in Ocean's 11.
Great role.
He's always eating. He's always good with the one-liner. He's just a fun guy to spend time with. He's got a great vibe.
I love the always eating.
And then I asked my dad when Angelina and Brad broke up, I go, "Dad, are you team Angelina or Brad?" He goes, "Brad." And then I asked my brother's girlfriend, I go, "Are you team Brad or Angelina?" And she goes, "I'm team Aniston." And I was like, whoa.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then I went up to my dad and I said, "Dad, are you team Aniston or Brad?" He goes, "Brad." And I was like, nice. Thrown in with the dudes.
He's a man.
Yeah. So Brad, thank you for 40 years of unparalleled hotness. You've been through so many looks, and they all looked great. And you're funny. He's funny. Like in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I think is like the hottest movie ever, when they like beat the hell out of each other and then they fuck. Very cool. He does these physical moves where like he's like, she almost shoots him or something, and then he goes out of the house and gets pissed, but he gets pissed like how you would if your wife made you like do a chore you didn't want to do, and he's like, "Gosh darn it, damn, ah." And the way his body jerks, I was like, good physicality, Brad. Who's your
great, babe?
Thank you.
Moneyball. I love Moneyball. I love Inglourious Bastards too. That's
yeah,
good.
It's a good one.
Troy. Did you talk about Troy?
Yeah.
He's so hot in Troy.
Yeah, never anyone hotter than that.
I know. I remember when
Hector.
I remember watching that. My mom would always get like People magazine and stuff, and it was just like all the articles were like, Brad is so hot in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I wonder what it's like to be that hot.
Yeah.
I bet it's actually quite a burden.
All right, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, I gotta give it up to you, man. He's I like his story. He has a good story about how he was in Maui, and then sort of like by luck he got into this movie, and then he just he worked his way to the top, and I think he's really proved himself. Like in Parks and Rec, his character was initially supposed to be just like a guest star, 1 or 2 or 3 episodes, and then they're like, this guy's good, let's keep him around. And then he developed that character into like a super lovable guy, because I think he started out as a douche. And so I love that sense of humor that he's got, that like goofy, just like whatever. And then he went from there and became a full-on action star. Pretty awesome. I think looks like it's pretty hard to do. When you go from like the lovable kind of chubby guy to getting jacked, and you're just like, no, I train raptors now. And people are like, yeah, you do. And he's like, yeah, I do. Bummed about him and Alan Ferris. It seemed like a good relation. But, I still hope that they'll be back together in the future. I've seen him before. He's driving a Tesla, so he's green as fuck. So gotta give out to him. And also in his appearance at was it the MTV Movie Awards? Where he gave that speech.
What did he say again during the speech? I do remember it. Like the 10 rules for like.
Yeah, but he talks about how he prays. He's like, yeah, and I pray, and it's really worked for me. And I'm not necessarily religious. I do believe in a higher power, and I have prayed from time, but I'm not like baptized or anything. But I just thought it was really cool of him to like say something that was so, sort of
unfashionable.
unfashionable, sort of against the grain in a speech. You know, I thought he was really taking a risk there, even though it's not. It's funny to say, wow, it was a huge risk, even though he's just saying to pray, but like I can outrage so many people. It's so ridiculous.
Pretty benign.
Yeah, it's like worry about yourself.
Yeah, and he's not saying like, don't, have laws or don't, try to stop bad things from happening. He's just saying like, be nice.
Yeah, he's just saying like, oh, this works for me.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool of him to do. I think he's being honest about who he is, and I love his goofy sense of humor. And I think he is a bundle of positive energy. So, Chris Pratt, you're a beast, dude. I'd love to lift with you sometime. Maybe eat like a steak. And we could talk shop.
That sounds like a nice day.
Yeah. Who's your legend?
My legend of the week is two dudes. It's Pierce Brosnan and Russell Crowe. I just want to give props to these two older studs for trying to do musicals. I just saw Mamma Mia 2 with the lady, and Pierce Brosnan cannot sing, but that didn't stop him from being in 2 musicals. And I know a lot of people trashed him, and I don't think they give him like any real singing parts in the second one, probably trying to protect him a little bit. But I respect that he still did both those movies, and that he was like, yeah, it might not be my forte, but life's about trying new things. And then Russell Crowe, same deal. I know Russell Crowe was in like a rock band, but he wasn't like a conventional like musical singer, like as in singing in musicals. But he still did Les Miserables, and he was hammered in the reviews for it. All the reviews were like, Russell Crowe sucks at singing. He was like a punching bag. Everyone was like, this guy can't sing, comes across like an ass. I saw the movie. I was like, he's not that bad. And then at the Oscars, they did Les Mis. Les Mis was nominated for like a bajillion awards or whatever. So the cast comes out and sing. Hugh jacked man comes out, rips his part up. Eddie Redmayne is good. Amanda Seyfried is good. Anne Hathaway is good. All the people from the movie are good. And then they're all out there singing. And then the last one to come out is Russell Crowe belting his solo. And I think he sounded awesome. And the whole crowd ripped into applause and was like, yes, go Russell, go. Don't let anyone tell you can't sing. And I hated that Meryl Streep movie where she's a bad singer, but she gets to do concerts because she's rich and she's horrible. And the whole movie's about how, like, even if you suck, it's okay to suck as long as you're expressing yourself. I don't want to go that far in that direction, but I think Russell Crowe was better than people were saying he was. And he knew it, and he put his nuts on the table and came out and sang live at the Oscars. And it was very uplifting for me. I think about it all the time. So thanks, Russell, for being a beast. And I hope you and Pierce Brosnan do a musical together with Can Marissa Tomei sing? With Marissa Tomei as the female lead. I think that'd be a hell of a flick.
I'd like that.
Yeah, it'd be a good movie.
I like Marissa. What up, Marissa?
Yeah, Marissa Tomei. You could be the babe of the week every week. I love you to death, Marissa. You're so great. She might have already been my babe of the week.
No, I don't think she has been.
All right, my dude. Who's your beef of the week?
I don't have a beef of the week. I feel good.
Nice.
My beef of the week is with beef of the week. For trying to put me in a negative headspace. Suck it, beef of the week. Trying to make me think of beefs. I'm trying to think of the fact that it's summer. I'm trying to think of the fact that Mission Impossible 15 comes out next Friday. So go see it. This is in no way an ad for them, but I just love Tom Cruise. So fuck you, beef of the week.
Nice. My beef of the week is last Friday. Chad and I were shooting our clip show, and at the end of the day, we had to shoot extra stuff on top of the episodes, and I got really stressed out towards the end, but I didn't know how to like process like being like overworked and then feeling like a little tired and feeling like I couldn't articulate what I was feeling. So I started like shaking, and then I went home and told my GF, but we had 2 parties to go to. So we went to one party, everything was good. And then we went to a second friend's party. And when I got there, I was still pretty jacked up, but I was feeling good and I was around my buddies. So I was relaxing and I was pretty stoned. And then I slid into to a bounce house that they had at the party. They had a big bounce house. And then a guy came sliding in behind me, this guy, Aaron. and I see there's big boxing gloves, like comically big boxing gloves, sitting in the bounce house. So I go, hey, you want to strap them up? I think it was my idea. I go, let's strap them up and box each other. He goes, all right. And then I go, let's go about 40%. So we put on the gloves, and he's like 6'7", like a legit 6'7". I'm 5'8", and we square off. But I box once a week, so I thought I would, despite the height differential. I only thought he was like 6'4". I thought I'd be able to like kind of slip and rip and get inside on him. So we start boxing, and he ended up beating me pretty good. I was just getting hit in the face the whole time, trying to slip punches and get inside. And then it was starting to frustrate me just getting hit in the face like that, especially because I thought I was going to win. So I started throwing harder punches and working harder to get inside. And he took it all in stride. And I landed a few good shots, but he really hammered me. And then we slid out. Well, before we finished, I looked outside the bounce house, and the whole party was just watching us fight. And I got too tired. I was like, I gotta take a break. So we slip out, and then this other guy, Terrence, he's like, oh, I got my money on JT. And I was like, oh, actually, Aaron beat the hell out of me. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. He's 6'7", but he is a hipster. Losing a boxing match to a hipster, oh, man.
That can be frustrating.
It was tough, because I'm supposed to be good at fighting, and he's supposed to be good at, like, art. And now I don't know what I'm good at after getting smoked. But I came out of there, and I was sitting with my girlfriend and Dustin was like, are you okay? You look different. I guess all the color had gone out of my face. I had a button-up shirt. I had to unbutton a few buttons, and I had a full-blown panic attack. I didn't, like, go anywhere. I just sat there and was like, and my girlfriend was like, she's like, you kind of just, like, run headstrong into these things. I was like, I thought I was going to win. I didn't think I was going to get my fucking ass rocked. And then and, you know, everybody was nice about it. I came outside, saw Aaron. I was like, dude, I just had a panic attack. He's like, yeah, you're like shaking. And I was like, you're 6'7", right? He's like, yeah, I'm 6'7". I was like, oh, that makes sense. I shouldn't be able to beat a 6'7" guy. And then I was like, do you want to go back in there and fight again? And then he was like, no. He was afraid I would die or something. And then, yeah, so I guess my beef of the week is with me. And I, you know, I've already put it into like kind of a romantic framework where I'm like, hey, it's all about the losses. How you bounce back from that loss, how you don't let the loss define you. That's what's most important. Like Bill the Butcher, you know, Prince Valen beat him before the fight that we see at the beginning of Gangs of New York. And he said he rose up strong and came back and buried him in his own blood. And, you know, I've lost a lot of boxing fights, so I should be used to it at this point, but still, it still hurts like it's the first one ever.
Maybe you should challenge like a small, you know, maybe just to like rebalance your mojo, you should challenge like a smaller guy to a boxing match and beat the fuck out of him.
So he was like sticking out both hands at a time and just knocking my head
so
backwards.
He was just doing like the fucking...
Yeah, he was like rock 'em, sock 'em. I mean, he probably had a great time.
Maybe you should just be proud of the fact that you challenged such a big dude.
I've challenged a lot of guys who have beat me up.
That'll make you better than... Maybe you shouldn't fight the little guy because then that'll make you just think you're... You know, maybe you need to keep fighting the big guys. So
yeah.
Yeah. Was he wearing like a superhero T-shirt when he beat your ass?
You know, I couldn't see it because all I was getting was fist.
Or was he carrying a lunchbox?
He was wearing headphones and listening to NPR while he put the beating on me.
Hold on. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, let's get into some questions. What up, Ryder here. So recently I spent a week with this Betty and we boned a lot. Nice. A real connection there, and we had some stellar conversation. We really bonded over our love of La Croix. Anyways, I woke up today and my nut is huge. Like way too big and it hurts. What should I do? Oh, Chad, you've experienced this before, right?
Oh, yeah. I've had a huge nut. Dude, don't dwell on it, man. Just go to the doctor. Yeah. Go to the doctor and just show them your nut and see what they can do.
Congratulations on this Betty with a big sex drive and a good conversational mind. It sounds like a real catch, and I foresee once your nut gets to regular size, it getting some usage.
And honestly, you know, when I went to the doctor about my huge nut, we had a good bonding sesh. You know, he asked me some questions about boning, and I was just kind of pumped to like talk about it with like an older guy because it doesn't happen often. And
how big was your nut?
It was like the size of like a tangerine.
Nice. What's good, Stokers? My name's Kenny. I'm sick of my teachers, man. Always trying to make me learn about shapes and shit. I just want to watch some Arnold Schwarzenegger videos and learn the real shit, but Arnold's not in the core curriculum. Fuck these schools, man. School is for fools, and Arnold teaches the real shit. How do I tell my teachers they'll never be Arnold?
Dude, I hear you, man. I feel like in school you learn a lot of random stuff that doesn't seem applicable to real life. But you know what, dude? Learn both things, you know? You can learn a lot of facts from your teachers, a lot of cool things, maybe some history, maybe how to write well, maybe grammar, maybe math and stuff. And then in your spare time, commit to learning about Arnold, you know? Because telling your teachers that they can't be Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think that's going to accomplish much, because I think that's pretty obvious. You know, it's hard to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I respect you for respecting such an honorable dude. So I would just say, you know, instead of trying to tell your teachers that they're not Arnold, why don't you take this energy you have and try to become Arnold? Yeah.
Boom. What's up, dogs? Just watched The Last Samurai for the first time the other day, and my stoke level has never been higher. My question is, do you think Tommy was a legend or an asshole for killing the samurai and then taking his girl? He even wore his armor. Love the podcast, bros. Keep it lit. Colby.
Dude, such a great question. I think about this a lot. I think Tommy did what he had to do in that situation.
Yeah, I think actually the guy that Tommy killed is happy that it was Tommy, because he was killed by a fellow warrior. He was the right guy to kill him, and he was the right guy to take his girl. And I think that guy that he killed had so much honor that he won't begrudge Tommy for doing it.
His death created a new samurai.
When Bill the Butcher talks about Prince Valen, he says he was the last honorable man I ever killed. Because like he respects his enemy, because they come from the same code. They're just born in different places, and that's what separates them.
And along with he wore his armor and boned his wife, like, you know, you never know when love's gonna pop up. Mm-hmm. And I think the guy he killed would be stoked that, you know, his wife found such a charming, hardworking guy that cranks out a lot of movies, and that really is just a beast.
What's up, Stoke Chiefs? Really appreciate what you two bros are doing for the world and enlightening it in the ways of chill and positivity. I'm a huge fan of the pod and got my boys into it as well. Now we pregame with y'all kicking it in the background. I've got a little predicament on my hands, though, and was hoping you could help me sort it out. So there's this babe that I met at a kickback, and we were hitting it off and ended up hooking up that night. I got her contact info, and we have been chatting pretty frequently. I think she's really cool and chill, and I enjoy hanging with her at parties, but I recently had my heart broken by a female, and I'm not really interested in dating. This girl seems to me to be into me in a romantic way, so how do I let her know that I don't want to date and still keep the homieship intact? Any advice you have would be much appreciated, as I have been put in the friend zone but never placed a girl in it myself. Thanks, Bax. P.S. Fuck Puzio.
So
Thank you.
She's in his squad?
Yeah.
And he has to put
he hooked up with her, and they've been chatting a lot, but he wants to take a step back.
Put her in the friend zone.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you have to preemptively tell her, as long as you're not like leading her on and saying things like, hey, I like you, I want to be with you. If you're just like being casual, at some point she'll make the decision to talk to you about it, and then you just have to be honest with her.
Yeah, play it cash, you know. Don't maybe just see if things will like play out and just smooth out over time.
Yeah.
Instead of having like a sit down.
Yeah, if she's trying to hook up with you and stuff, then you tell her. But if she's just chilling, there's no reason to bring it up. Just be patient. Chad and JT, gangsters. What's up, boys? So my friend QB recently wrote in about his debacle in which he had issues laying pipe because a girl went two knuckles deep down into his pooper. This led to an even bigger controversy among us. When he broke the news to us, we were all like, congrats on the sex, who was it? But he wouldn't tell us because he didn't want the girl getting ostracized, which was respect. When he heard his question on here, all of our group's friend Stokes immediately sunk because we thought this whole time he didn't want the news going public, which leads to my question for you guys. Don't we, QB's friends, have a right to know which girl defiled his anal cavity? we're all pretty open dudes and share our secrets, and I just feel like he's taking a pretty corporate stance toward this issue when we like to think of ourselves as a small biz community. Stoked to hear your input, Dobie.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't want to reveal our identity, I think that's his right, Ass play is, some people really enjoy it, but they don't want to be outed, and I think props to him for respecting that. And, it could be fun just to play the guessing game, You don't have to force him to say who it was, and you also don't want to, you don't want her to feel like she can't be her true self in the sack anymore because everyone, because she might get ostracized or whatever.
It could push her in a different direction where she stops taking chances because she's worried it's going to go public if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, let her be free, because it sounds like she's really expressing herself, and so I think, I think you should respect that.
And I would say openness is good. Like, it's great that you and your friends are so open and tell each other secrets and stuff. But if you're forcing people to tell secrets that they're not comfortable with, then it's coming at the expense too much of their personal space and of their autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Chad and JT? I love the pod, and I just wanted to get y'all's advice during these trying times. I recently just broke up with my boyfriend because he was treating me like shit for the past 2 months, ignoring me, not wanting to see me, etc., and was too much of a pussy to end it, so I had to do it. Yeah, I relate to the guy a little bit, unfortunately. I know I should just move on and let things be, but it's really just bringing down my stoke meter. I'm also about to start my last year of high school, and I just really want to have the best year possible. So any tips on how to get through these tough times and have an awesome senior year? Sorry for the long email, bros. I love the podcast and keep doing what you're doing. Sincerely, Lauren. It's actually a pretty short email, Lauren, relative to the ones we get.
Lauren, whenever I'm down, I always turn to, like JT said, he finds inspiration from movies. I turn to movies and videos of people having fun, and that sort of gets me amped to get out there and live life, because you're you. You don't need this dude. You got you.
Nice.
You got you, and that's all you need to get amped and go have fun. Go watch. What's a good movie?
To get you excited?
Yeah. Something that makes you just want to be like, yeah, I'm independent. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go party. I'm going to go, kill it at studying.
First Wives Club.
First Wives Club. Go watch First Wives Club and then just hit the town. Hang with your friends. Have the best time possible because you only get 1 year, senior year of high school, and you need to live it up the most and just crush this year. So this is an opportunity for you to grow, which is honestly, I have way more fun working on myself than hanging out with some dickwad. That's why I'm kind of a, stokers may not know this, I'm kind of an introvert. I like hanging out by myself and working on myself. I don't really like hanging out with dickweeds who bring me down. So, that's one of my favorite things to do. Go see a movie by yourself. It's the most fun ever.
It is fun. Yeah, and I would say it's good riddance to bad rubbish. And I think you don't want to be with someone like that anyways. And remember, the best revenge is to live happily.
Good call. That's a great quote.
Sup, bros? Love the pod. Me and the boys are always giving it a listen during work to stay amped during these long days. You guys always give killer advice, and I knew Chad and JT were the only stokers I could turn to help me with this dire conundrum I have found myself in. Recently, my stoke tank has sprung a leak, and I need to patch that baby up ASAP. Last week, I was out raging with the bros at my buddy's house. His dad was out of town, and his mom is super chill, so she was ripping shots and totally killing the Helix beer bong with us all night. I've known this bro since day one, and ever since I've known his mom has been a total smoke that would low-key drop some flirtatious vibes with my way when he wasn't around. So I'm chilling there fresh off a stellar shotgun performance when she looks at me and motions upstairs. I'm totally sloshed at this point, so I'm not thinking straight. Next thing I know, I'm boning my bro's mom. The next morning, I was like, whoa, that was fucking rad. I need to tell my bros since we've always dreamed of getting with the MILF someday. But then I was like, yo, hold up. Am I really going to blow up my homie's family like that? Because I know his dad would be less stoked than to find out I boned his wife. So here's my dilemma. Should I boast to the boys and claim the respect I deserve for being the first of the squad to nail a MILF? Or do I respect my bro and keep this on the low for the rest of my life? P.S. There was an immediate connection when we boned. I'm talking 4th of July spark. She still hits me up when his dad's out of town, so I'm tempted to see where the relationship goes. I'm worried the universe put us together on purpose, so if I don't shoot my shot, I might never score genuine love.
At first, I was pumped, but then when he said she's still married, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, and she's still his boy's mom.
Yeah. Keep it a secret, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's a crazy experience, and in some ways you're lucky that it happened, and in a lot of ways you're unlucky that it happened, because this is a lot to deal with as a young man.
You don't want the repercussions of this to come down, you know.
I mean, it's awesome. It's a spectacular thing to have happen. It's the fantasy of so many people, but I think it's also something that years from now, especially if you keep doing it, might cause you some regret.
Yeah.
Because you're playing with dangerous stakes and big elements of life that aren't easily fixed if broken.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I would just, you know what I think? I think you want to tell people about this experience that, you know, so you can be the fucking man. And but you know what? If you do, the reaction is not going to be as cool as you think, and you'll be disappointed. And then the cat's out of the bag, and then there's a lot of potential consequences.
And you destroy her reputation. You blow up the marriage. You ruin your friendship with your friend. Your friend becomes like a punchline for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's going to think you punked him.
Yeah.
He's certainly going to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in this situation, if it gets out, is going to end up feeling bad.
Yeah. So
discretion is the better part of valor. Keep your mouth shut. I mean, this is not a healthy woman mentally to sleep with her son's friend. I mean, there's a selfishness there and a self-destructiveness there that is dangerous. And she's, you know, honestly, a little irresponsible for dragging you into it. But if you're asking for my advice, I would tell you to steer clear of it and keep it to yourself.
I know when he first told the story, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like, as it got more, I was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of a sticky situation, but
Totally.
yeah.
I just think if one of my friends did that to my mom, you know, I'd be pumped.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're going to do our movie quote of the week.
Do you want to go first?
So my movie quote of the week is from the movie The Gray, with Liam Neeson, where he's with a bunch of guys and they're trying to outrun some crazy wolves. So towards the end of the film, spoiler alert, skip forward 2 minutes if you don't want to hear this. Liam Neeson's about the last guy left, and he doesn't know how he's going to get out of there and get back to civilization, or how he's going to survive this pack of wolves that's tracking him down. And beyond that, he doesn't even know why he should even try to survive, because his life is a sad existence, and should he just give up? So he looks up at the sky and he says, "Show me something real!" Screaming at the heavens at God. He says, "Show me something real!" Screaming into the void, "Show me something real!" And of course, there's no response from the heavens or from God. You know, no eagle soars by at that moment. And then he just, in this like kind of exasperated but still tough voice, just says, "Fuck it. I'll do it myself." And this is all, you can see a lot of this breakdown in Stories of Old YouTube channel that breaks down heroism in movies, and the guy's brilliant.
My movie quote is from Crazy Stupid Love.
Nice, great
Ryan
movie.
Gosling and Steve Carell.
That's a good movie to get you jacked up that the girl could watch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Big movie quote is Ryan Gosling. "Cal, be better than the Gap. Be better than the Gap. Say it. I'm better than the Gap." I'm doing the motion he does. And that was really eye-opening for me, because like, let's all, don't hold yourself to, low standards. Be better than the Gap. Be Louis Vuitton, but still wear Vans, You can always aim higher, dudes. Growth mindset. Keep building. Go eat a Sbarro's pizza with Ryan Gosling and go shopping and, just, don't set limits for yourself. Don't just be like, oh, I could never do that. No, you can do that because you're better than the Gap. So be better than the Gap, dudes. Yeah.
I love it. I love the Gap, but I get it completely.
I do love the Gap too.
I love the clothes at the Gap.
All right, guys. That'll be it for episode 28 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for writing in, for being stokers, for everything. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ChadGoesDeep. And what else? Rate us on iTunes, all that kind of stuff. And JT.
We'll see you soon, stokers.
Later, dudes.
What's your deep